Right now, at the bottom of a fountain you've probably walked past, there are thousands of coins lying in the water. Some were thrown yesterday, some have been there for years, slowly turning green under a film of algae and chlorine. Every one of them was thrown by someone who closed their eyes, made a wish, and walked away without a second thought about what happens next. But something does happen next. Someone wades into that water. Someone scoops those coins off the bottom. Someone counts them, sorts them, and sends them somewhere. And the place those coins end up is far stranger and more complicated than any wish that put them there. This is the story of where fountain money actually goes. Let's start with the most famous fountain on Earth. The Trevi Fountain in Rome collects roughly 1.5 million euros in coins every year. That's more than 4,000 euros a day thrown into the water by tourists from every country on the planet. Coins from currencies that don't even circulate in Italy anymore. Buttons, tokens, bottle caps, and occasionally paper bills sealed in plastic bags. Every Monday night, after the tourists have gone to dinner, a team of workers from the city's water utility wades into the shallow basin with vacuum hoses and rakes. They sweep the entire floor of the fountain, drain sections if needed, and haul out the coins in heavy, wet bags. The process takes hours. By Tuesday morning, the fountain is empty, the water is flowing again, and tourists are already throwing fresh coins, unaware that last week's wishes were vacuumed up 12 hours ago. Where does the Trevi money go? For decades, the answer was Caritas, the Catholic charity organization. The coins are transported to a Caritas processing facility, where volunteers sort them by currency, count them, and convert foreign coins through banks or exchange services. The money funds a network of social services for Rome's poor, including a supermarket where low-income families can shop for free, homeless shelters, and meal programs. A coin tossed over your shoulder by a Japanese tourist on vacation becomes a bag of pasta for a Roman family who can't afford groceries. That's the clean, heartwarming version. And it's true. But it's not the whole story. Because before Caritas secured its arrangement with the city, the Trevi coins were essentially up for grabs. For years, a man named Roberto Churchilletta waded into the fountain almost every night and scooped out coins by hand. He reportedly collected as much as 1,000 euros a day, stuffing his pockets and bags with wet change. The city eventually took him to court, and the legal question was genuinely unusual. Who owns a coin that's been thrown away? The person who threw it abandoned it. The fountain belongs to the city. The water belongs to the utility. The coin is sitting on public property, unclaimed, in a pool of water. Is picking it up theft? Or is it the same as picking up a penny from a sidewalk? Italian courts ultimately ruled against him, but the legal gray zone he exploited exists in fountains all over the world. And that gray zone matters, because most fountains are not the Trevi. Most fountains don't have a charity contract, a vacuum team, or a Monday night cleaning schedule. Most fountains are in shopping malls, hotel lobbies, city parks, and town squares. And the coins that accumulate in them enter a strange jurisdictional limbo. In some cases, the property owner collects the coins and donates them. In other cases, maintenance staff pocket them as an unofficial perk. In others, the coins sit there for months or years, corroding, until someone drains the fountain for repairs and either bags them up or throws them away with the sediment. There is no universal law governing fountain coins. In most jurisdictions, a coin thrown into a fountain is legally abandoned property, and the rules for abandoned property vary wildly from one place to the next. In the United States, the situation is just as fragmented. Some of the most visited fountains have formal arrangements. The fountain at the National World War II Memorial in Washington, D.C. collects tens of thousands of dollars a year. The National Park Service gathers the coins and directs the money to the memorial's maintenance fund. At Disneyland and Disney World, cast members collect fountain coins regularly, and Disney donates the proceeds to children's charities. But walk into any random hotel lobby with a decorative fountain, and the coins at the bottom exist in a no man's land. The hotel might collect them, a housekeeper might take a handful, a guest might reach in and grab a few, Technically, every one of those actions could be legal or illegal, depending on the state, the property, and whether anyone bothers to press the issue. Now, here's a detail that makes the economics of fountain coins genuinely absurd. A significant percentage of the coins thrown into fountains are worth less than the cost of processing them. Pennies, 1 cent euro coins, and small denomination coins from dozens of currencies accumulate in the water and corrode. Sorting, cleaning, counting, and depositing a bucket of mixed international coins costs more in labor than the coins are worth. Some collection programs lose money on small coins and only break even because of the occasional larger denomination or the rare tourist who throws in a bill. The Trevi Fountain works financially because of sheer volume and because it's a tourist landmark, generating over €1 million a year. A fountain in a suburban park, collecting $40 in pennies over 6 months is, from a pure accounting standpoint, better off leaving them there. And leaving them there creates its own problems. Coins in water corrode. Copper pennies release copper ions that can kill algae, which sounds helpful, but also poison aquatic life if the fountain has fish or plants. Zinc coins, which most modern U.S. pennies are, corrode even faster and release zinc compounds that can damage pump mechanisms and clog filters. Fountain maintenance crews in hotels and malls report that coins are one of the top causes of pump failures, jamming intake valves and scratching impellers. The coins that people throw in for good luck are, in engineering terms, a slow-motion act of vandalism against the fountain's mechanical systems. Then there's the question nobody asks. Why do people throw coins in the first place? The tradition dates back thousands of years. Ancient Romans threw coins into springs and wells as offerings to the gods, specifically to the spirits they believed lived in the water. Fresh water was life, and paying the spirit of a spring was not superstition to them. It was common sense, the same way you'd pay a toll to cross a bridge. The tradition survived the fall of Rome, the rise of Christianity, the Enlightenment, the Industrial Revolution, and the invention of digital currency, and it shows no signs of stopping. An estimated $3 billion in coins are sitting in fountains around the world right now. $3 billion, doing nothing, corroding quietly under an inch of chlorinated water. Because a tradition older than most religions told us the water wants to be paid. Some cities have tried to redirect this instinct. Charity collection boxes placed next to fountains capture a fraction of what the water does. Digital donation screens have been tested near popular fountains in Europe and Asia, letting tourists tap a card instead of throwing metal into a pool. The results have been modest. People still prefer the water. The physical act of throwing, the splash, the sinking coin catching the light as it spirals down, that ritual is the product, not the donation. People aren't paying for a wish, they're paying for the feeling of making one. The next time you stand in front of a fountain with a coin in your hand, consider the full journey. That coin will sit underwater for days, weeks, or months. It will corrode. It will be scooped out by a worker, a volunteer, a maintenance crew, or someone with no authorization at all. It will be sorted with thousands of other coins from dozens of countries. It might fund a meal for a homeless family in Rome. It might jam a pump in a hotel lobby in Dallas. It might sit in a jar in a janitor's closet for 3 years until someone throws it away. Or it might end up in a Caritas supermarket, buying bread for someone who will never know your name or your wish. The fountain doesn't care. It takes every coin the same way, with a splash and a slow spiral to the bottom, no matter what you asked for on the way down. But fountain coins aren't even the strangest thing people leave behind without thinking about what happens next. Right now, there are millions of social media accounts that belong to dead people. The photos are still there. The messages are still there. The birthday reminders still pop up every year, notifying friends that someone who no longer exists is turning another year older. What happens to your digital life after your real one ends is a question that no platform wants to answer clearly, and the reason why might disturb you. That story is next, and if you don't want to miss it, you know what to do.